Okay, I'm going to be a bit modest here, but at least 1 or 2 people have complimented my online presentations in the recent past. So in this video, I'm going to share with you guys some of my hacks for those Zoom meetings. Let's get started. So when all the pandemic business started, schools, workplaces shut down, we all resorted to an online life. Let's be honest, most of us were caught kind of unprepared, and these online meetings and presentations have not been without challenges. Like Murphy's Law suggests, it appears like everything that can go wrong always goes wrong. Starting from your internet connection, to your video, to your audio, to even yourself, and that's where my 3 steps come in. To minimize the chance of stuff going south, all these 3 steps that I'm going to talk to you about are very important, but the last one is the most crucial, so be sure to watch this video through to the end. Okay, first step, the video. In my experience, the biggest ingredient of awesome video is not really a super expensive professional camera. It's actually good lighting and a good setup. Most of us do those Zoom meetings and conference calls using either our phones or laptop webcams. Most definitely using a professional camera will give you better results than a phone, but believe you me, the jump in quality you'll get is not as big as the jump from just poor lighting to good lighting while just using your phone or your webcam. And for that simple reason, I actually rarely use this professional camera that I'm using for YouTube videos when I'm making my online presentations for school. Just because I'm avoiding the many connections which increase the possibilities of a point of failure occurring somewhere. I mostly just use my HP Spectre laptop, which has a less than stellar camera, but given the right conditions, it gives quite some usable results. So, how can you get the most out of your phone or webcam? First, get the best light you can get. Personally, I usually set up my studio light, but if you don't have that, natural light from a window will do you much good. For heaven's sake, try to always face a window. Never have your back towards the window. That light needs to shine on your face, not directly into the phone or laptop webcam. It will overpower it. Next is the framing. As much as possible, try to avoid that webcam look where people see you up your nose. I like to raise the laptop a little bit by placing it on some books, and you could even adjust the height of your chair if you can. Just make sure that the camera is kind of at least at your eye level. Then if possible, it's nice to sit at the very least an arm's length away from your phone or computer. I like to frame myself such that it's not just my face filling the whole screen. That actually makes your head appear much bigger relative to your body because of the distortion that comes with wide-angle cameras, and I'm sure that most of us would not like that. Next point, always pay attention to your background. I don't usually use this YouTube background for Zoom meetings just because it takes a while to set up and it would be distracting to those following through. You know what works? Plain backgrounds. Keeping your background as plain as possible will not only give you that official look, but it's probably quite simple to achieve. I usually basically just leave nothing in the background, maybe apart from these 2 photos that are hanging up here on the wall. Last tip on video is, especially when using your phone, if possible, use the back camera rather than the selfie camera on the phone. Most phones have a much crispier back camera. You guys know that the first videos on this channel were shot on my Samsung Galaxy S8, and they were quite decent just because I used the main camera on the phone and not the selfie camera. On to the second step, audio. Audio is arguably even more important than video when it comes to online presentations. People will tolerate not seeing you at all if they can actually hear you well. You need to make sure that you are audible and clear, and to achieve that, I personally usually use my external microphone. For those who make frequent online presentations or do regular online meetings, I highly recommend that you get an external microphone. It will give you several times the audio quality you can get from your laptop or your phone. And these things don't have to be expensive to perform. Even a cheap lav mic going for under $30 will give you a big difference. The thing with basically all microphones is that they sound much better when you're closer to them compared to when you're further away. So the closest to your mouth you can bring the microphone, the better. It's called the proximity effect, but just don't swallow it, you know. For my setup, I like using my Blue Yeti just because I can set it on the table next to the laptop, but just off to the side so that it doesn't appear in the picture. Can you guys see it over there? It's on the shelf right there. No, how do I point to it now? You see this thing? This one, yeah, this. This is the Blue Yeti. Anyway, but even if you cannot get an expensive microphone like that one, as much as possible minimize any background noise and you should sound good enough. Just know that having an external microphone is always the best option if you don't like that over the telephone sound that tiny phone and laptop mics will always give you. Lastly, on audio, always do a pre-test. Most apps, Skype, Zoom, Google Meet, what have you, have a feature where you can pre-test your audio beforehand and adjust accordingly. I always use that to adjust my levels to make sure that I'll be audible way before starting the meeting or the presentation. Okay, right before we zero into the most important step in neat presentations, this is where we usually take the subscribe break. If you're finding value in this video so far, I invite you to consider joining this family over here on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button below. And so that you are the first to get notified when I upload another video, please also turn on those notifications. Click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button. Thanks a lot. So the third and final step to awesome online presentations is the presentation itself. Now, this might not come through instantly, but with time, you can practice to just prepare and make engaging presentations. Content and delivery is key. Even here on YouTube, there's thousands of crappy videos which are actually getting a ton of views. Not because of the awesome video or audio, but the content. Content is good and well delivered. We could talk about this for another 30 minutes, but just for too long didn't watch sake, let me leave you with this abbreviation down here on the screen right now. This is just what you need to spice up your presentation. Icebreaker, illustration, short story, statistic or surprising fact, aphorism, analogy or metaphor, question, quote. Done. If you like it, don't be shy. There's a like button below and the discussion usually continues in the comment section down here. See you there. As for now, no pressure.